just practiced it with Cole. He's 16, so he was obviously around when she was doing push-pushing.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Chris is running a few minutes late, but we'll call the meeting to order. It's Tuesday, September 12th, 2017. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Born and unborn. Okay. Minutes and reports received and filed.
August 2017 Treasurer's Reconciliation Report filed, and August 2017 Sheriff Fees filed, and August 2017 Auditor's Report filed.
Okay. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings, events.
We got Planning Commission meeting tonight. Solid Waste Management District Board meeting tomorrow. Home Builders Association meeting tomorrow night. Chiefs on Thursday. Got Renegades Coffee Friday morning. Habitat's annual chicken dinner Friday. I think they got a lunch and a dinner.
Yeah, I'm a celebrity server from 6 to 7, so come out in the evening. I'll even carry your tray over to the table for you.
I'll be there at lunchtime serving.
Oh.
I'm not a celebrity though. Do you gotta wear tux?
Yeah, we'll wear tux.
Yeah. Probably in a t-shirt. We got Wardsville Knights of Columbus barbecue Saturday. I think that's about it. Stalled enough so Chris could get here. So.
Okay. I'll do mine. He can be last. Tomorrow I got Cap Region Executive Board meeting in the morning. Thursday afternoon's the Jeff City Daycare 50th birthday. 3:30. I'm gonna try to make that. Friday I won't make the Renegades because the Chamber's got a port shareholder meeting at 7:30. I'm serving from 6 to 7.
Are they giving an update on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to come?
No, I just want to know
Yeah,
where we're
they are.
at with it.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then Sunday's the Historic City of Jefferson's annual home tours. So I got tickets for sale up at the store. Anybody wants to go?
Know where I'm at, so.
Join the crowd.
Yeah, there's a Salute footprint walkabout today. I doubt that I make it, but anyway, Capitol grounds are going to be off limits for the next several years due to construction, so they're looking for alternative sites. And the Parks Committee meeting at noon at Brooks Park, and we'll be looking at the new playground equipment that we put in.
Oh.
So that's in. I think that's all I got.
Okay. Presentation from invited guests. We've got the transit use of biodiesel presentation. You said you guys can do it, and I gave you 10. Jeff said 3.
Okay, shoot
quick,
for 5.
Quick.
Shoot for 5.
Thank you very much. Good speech.
It's great being here. Thank you very much. My name is Charlie Poster. I work for Magna Corp, a fuels consulting company with the Missouri soybean growers. And so we're going to talk a little bit about biodiesel today. And I'll try and do it really in maybe 8 minutes, then if you have any questions, we'll stand for questions. So we partnered with Missouri Soybean to try and address some of the concerns from farmers who can't find biodiesel when they want to use it. So let's talk a little bit quickly about what biodiesel is. It's a renewable alternative derived mainly from soybeans. That's a 1-for-1 replacement for diesel fuel. So it's a renewable fuel that can be used in diesel trucks. It's great for a number of reasons. It helps with air quality. It's a renewable homegrown fuel made right here in Missouri. In fact, Missouri is the second largest producer of biodiesel in the entire country. So farmers really felt frustrated that they're producing an amazing amount of soybeans, which is being turned into biodiesel, and then when they want to use it, they had challenges in doing that. So we actually work with 11 partner states in trying to overcome some of these same hurdles. So on the one of our key partners is farmers across Missouri. We're trying to help them get a fuel that they help make. And so we're trying to drive demand through that. Second key group and a partner for us is fuel distributors across the state. We actually have one of our first education sessions tomorrow with MFA just outside of Joplin. So we're trying to address supply. And so fuel distributors up and down the chain, including large footprint that MFA has, as well as farmer co-ops and independents around the state. And then kind of a third key constituency is what we might consider other groups. And those are including truck fleets around the state as well as government agencies. And for instance, today I'm going to be taking a sample from the Missouri Department of Conservation's on-tank storage at their central office. And we also want to look at large users such as people who run transit operations. So that's what I'm here to talk a little bit about today. Like I said, biodiesel is a renewable fuel that can be placed up to blends of commonly 20% in place of ULSD, ultra low sulfur diesel. And so there are some great reasons to use biodiesel. It helps address some air quality problems that are associated with diesel, but it also is great for engines. It's a natural lubricant and is great, helps address air quality problems. So quickly, let's talk about biodiesel. And I will say, usually we do this in an hour, so I'm really going quickly here. The biodiesel story is a great one. It was really led by farmer checkoff dollars trying to invest and make soybeans worth more. So using the checkoff dollars from the 1980s and 90s and investing in research, they tried to add value to that top 20%, or that 20% of a bushel of beans that's oil. For years, soybean meal is a great high protein feed for livestock, but the 20% portion of that bushel that's oil didn't have a lot of value. And when farmers invested in research, they discovered that they could turn that into biodiesel, raising the value of soybeans overall by adding value to that soybean oil.
Charlie, one
Yep.
point, Gary Wheeler, to make to that. So that first investment was from Missouri farmers right here in Cole
Yep.
County with the University of Missouri, started the biodiesel industry.
Yeah, Missouri has been at the forefront of the biodiesel industry. In fact, the National Biodiesel Board is right here in Missouri. And so it helped raise the price of soybeans by adding value to the soybean oil, that 20% of oil that is in a bushel of beans. It's a fairly straightforward process. You take soybean oil, you do a simple, you add methanol, you add a catalyst, and out the back end you get 10 pounds of glycerin and 100 pounds of a monoalkyl ester. Generally, it's made from soybean oil. Biodiesel, of the roughly 3 billion gallons that's made in this country, 53% of it is made from soybean oil. And as I noted, Missouri is at the forefront of production. You have nearly 226 million gallons of capacity around the state, and it's about 200 million gallons of production year over year. Different states have tried to increase demand and consumption in different ways. You look at states that have mandates, some states have tax incentives, and Missouri has no state incentive at this time. I think there's a lot of room to grow given your production in state. One of the things that's driven this market is the incredible efficiency that Missouri farmers and farmers across the nation have shown over the past 25 years. If you look at yields as recently as 1985, we yield around 28, almost 30 bushels per acre. Today, in fact, Missouri in 2016 averaged 50 bushels an acre, and when we talk to seed scientists looking forward, 70, 75, 80 bushels per acre is in the very near term. So it's an opportunity for continued growth. But the real reason that Missouri farmers want to continue seeing this industry push forward is that it adds value to one of the biggest crops grown here in the state. In fact, having a robust biodiesel industry adds 63 cents to every single bushel of beans harvested in Missouri. So if we look at a Missouri farm that farms 500 acres and yields 50 bushels per acre, that's an extra $19,000 per farm that wouldn't be there but for the biodiesel industry. By adding value to the oil, it raises the price of beans. I checked this morning, and the price of beans right now is about $9.60. So without a biodiesel industry in this country, that'd be about $9. And there's even better news, that if we continue to consume more biodiesel, we will see that price rise even higher. So farmers will be getting a good price for the beans that they're harvesting, as well as production continues to ramp up. It's a competitively priced fuel. In fact, today, in this market, diesel fuel is $1.83, where biodiesel B100 is $1.75. So generally, biodiesel is a competitively priced fuel that helps reduce our dependence on foreign oil, but it's grown here, it's made here, it adds value to farms. I think that's been about half. So there are a lot of great reasons to use biodiesel, and we'll talk about some of the hurdles as well. But it greatly enhances the lubricity of ultra-low sulfur diesel. And without going into it too much, from the early 1990s to 2007, the fuels marketplace in America changed significantly. We went from very high sulfur diesel, where it used to be 5,000 parts per million sulfur. Then we lowered it to 500, and then to 15 parts per million. So we went from 5,000 parts per million sulfur to 15 parts per million sulfur. And while that was great for air quality, diesel became much drier fuel, and we saw a lot of large fleets, especially over-the-road trucking companies, notice a lot of engine wear associated with that fuel. What they didn't know at the time is as they removed the sulfur from the fuel, it became a very dry fuel and caused engine wear. Adding blends of even 1% and 2%, so B1 or B2, add incredible lubricity back to that fuel, so it helps make it a better operating fuel for the engines. It's also a high cetane fuel. Cetane represents the starting ability of diesel fuel in an engine, so that's a positive. Biodiesel is higher in cetane than diesel fuel. It's naturally ultra low sulfur. It's compatible with all heavy-duty engines out in the marketplace today. So there are no engine modifications, no tank and storage modifications needed to use this. Largely, it works within the engine and the infrastructure that are out in the marketplace today. The power and performance are virtually unchanged. We often hear fleet managers ask, well, is this going to affect my mileage? And the answer is no. In fact, the biodiesel industry helped fund a 2 million mile challenge where they drove one fleet on traditional ultra low sulfur diesel and another fleet on B20 blends. And the mileage was literally exactly the same. So it's actually a one-for-one replacement, almost identical power. So you don't have to worry about mileage differences. Then, of course, there are the environmental benefits. It helps reduce harmful tailpipes emissions, reduces greenhouse gas emissions. It's a high energy balance, and it's renewable. And this slide addresses the engine. So the OEMs, the original engine manufacturers, have approved use of, in some cases, B100 when we look at some of the agricultural manufacturers, and in most cases, B20, blends up to B20 in use with their engines. The few OEMs who have warrantied their engines for B5 are some of the lighter passenger cars, and we should think of those as Audi, VW, and Volkswagen. In states, however, that have moved forward with higher blends, that's like B20 or B10, these engine manufacturers have sent letters to their owners saying their warranties will cover their vehicles. So it's been addressed already. This is a slide that shows that lubricity that I talked about a little bit ago. As you look, a lower number is better here. So this actually measures the wear scar on an engine using some fuel. And you see old ultra low sulfur diesel without additives, it was very bad. It actually failed the test. 520 is the pass fail mark. And so premium diesel that you might see advertised has a wear scar of 450. This is micrometers. But again, as you add blends at even 2%, it really lowers the wear scar on that ball bearing that's used in this test. And as you move up to higher blends, B5 and B11, the numbers keep getting better. So briefly, when we talk about biodiesel, it's a homegrown renewable fuel, but it's good for Missouri's ag economy. It adds value to soybeans. So from the demand point, we're trying to pick up demand by having farmers call their fuel distributors, making sure that they're asking for it. We're trying to work with fuel distributors to make sure that they know where to find it in the marketplace, how to handle it. So one of the things that we often hear questions about is, their hurdles to using this, and it's often about operational questions. Will this work in my engine? Will this work in our climate? Sometimes is it too cold? And so we talk about CloudPoint and CFPP. The weather operability is very similar, and I often use my home state as an example of that it can be used. I'm from Minnesota, we're a mandate state. In the coldest 6 months of the year, we use blends of B5, so it's September through April. In the warm weather months, starting next year, we use blends of B20. So every gallon of diesel fuel sold in our state is mixed at 20% in the warm weather months and 5% in the winter months, and it works. It's been a very, very successful trial program. Not a trial program, it's been an excellent kind of spearhead to show that it can be used even in colder weather environments. go through this quickly. And also, we just want to work with transit operators and trucking fleets to overcome the hurdles that they might have. And I have some testing equipment here just to show that, we often go and talk to some of our potential customers, ask, here are a lot of the benefits of using it. What do you think your hurdles might be to introducing a higher blend? And we often talk about tank storage and proper tank maintenance. So later on today, I'm going to the Missouri Department of Conservation, who also wants to try this in their fleet. One hurdle they said is we've never actually had our on-site tanks tested. So this is something called it's called a bacon bomb. So we're going to test their tank. You reel this down into the tank and it hits the bottom and it takes a sample of the fuel. When you lift it up, it seals it, you reel it up, and we'll fill this up and we'll send it back to our lab along with the Missouri soybean growers. Several other states have us operate a lab to support our users of higher biodiesel blends. And so that if there's ever any question, if they have a fuel-related problem, they have access to our lab, and we'll try and analyze any challenges they might have. So we're going to send this back to the lab, see if everything is correct, and give them a green light to start using blends in their fleet. So, and hopefully the samples that come back look like the ones on the left. Diesel fuel, either farm dyed on the bottom or clear on the top, should be clear and bright. In the middle picture, you see that these folks have a saturated water problem, and on the right, the samples you can see on the bottom, water is actually separated out. These are things that you want to address before you start using higher biodiesel blends, and this is just an example of some of the how you actually take a sample. So I would say that is a rough kind of a survey of the higher biodiesel blends, the benefits of them. And I think that the request from the soybean farmers of the state of Missouri is that we explore opportunities to use higher biodiesel blends with your heavy diesel users, and addressing head-on any concerns that might be had, including tank maintenance, storage, will it operate in the fleet, things like that. But the reason to do it, it's incredibly beneficial to Missouri's agricultural sector, helping add 63 cents per bushel to every bushel of soybeans harvested in this county and in this state. So that is it quickly, and I'll stand for any questions. I'd love to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioners, if I may just make a quick point. So the initial request from the soybean farmers of the state would be to partner with Cole County commissioners, yourselves, equipment operators, and go in to see what we could actually do for the use of B20. We would actually go in, use resources from the farmers of the state, depending on the budget that we agree upon. We would literally go in and buy fuel. We would let your guys choose what vehicles within the fleet would use with the help of Charlie and Mr. Stafford, and then we would pick over a 6-month period to see what you guys think over it. And if you like it, we'll figure out your fuel distributors, which is MFA, or we know locally Tom Cobb carries a lot of this and travels throughout the whole state of Missouri carrying biodiesel, B100, and all of the other fleets throughout the state. So we think it'd be a great partnership, and it would be great for the farmers of Cole County as well. So.
Thank you.
Larry, I mean, your trucks, well, ambulances, have you?
We ran it, I don't remember how many years ago now it was. We ran it in a 550 and a grader.
Do you notice any difference?
Not initially, the issues with cleaning the tank out and stuff. We actually brought our tank in where we had the biodiesel in, so we didn't have the storage issues. I don't remember, again, it's been so long, I don't remember if we had to change out filters for a while once we put it in. But
yeah, you have to change filters a lot when you first start using it.
Because it'll actually clean your tanks for you, so you'll have to replace filters. Any negatives? I don't, we didn't run it during the winter. We just ran it during the summer, B20. I think it's B20, wasn't it, Larry? So.
Well, I know that we have very limited time here, but we would love to talk with the folks that actually make the fueling decisions and who are actually using it to address any concerns that they have, and we have a little more time to go through all their concerns and then try and figure out what's a strategy moving forward for introducing these blends into your fleet.
Okay. Jerry, did you use anything like that out in California? Okay. Okay.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you
much
all.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yep,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Still can't believe you're John's brother.
Actually, he's the one that's adopted. Mainly because of looks, not because of his height.
Oh, okay. Brains too, or?
Thank you,
I
guys.
am the smartest of the entire family.
You know you're not saying much though with John. I don't know where he ranks in there.
Better watch it, you'll get a free ride to the gym.
Hi, John. He's at shooting training, so he can't hear us right now.
But we're going to shift our agenda around a little bit, because being a nice guy that I am, Larry Vincent asked if he could be next on the agenda.
I didn't think you were being nice to Larry.
Thought you were done with that. I think though, if y'all are interested in that biodiesel thing, that you all can contact them and get a hold of them to look at it. I mean, it's,
I would be, I'd be
I
interested.
tried it one time years ago, if y'all are interested in trying it. I may have. Let us know.
Okay, thanks.
All righty.
Good morning. This is a similar request to the one you all approved a few weeks ago, but this one is for Sonia Garrison. The only difference in this one is that she is redeeming her property, and in order to do so, she had to pay back the entire costs that were associated with it, which amounted to $13,099.82. That makes her eligible to receive the overage on that, the bids on those properties, which was $2,662.41. So that's what we're asking for the approval for, is to refund the overage amount of $2,662.41 to her.
Is this the same lady?
No, this is
No.
a different one.
Yeah.
And as I said, in this instance, she has redeemed the property and paid all the expenses that were incurred with the cost of the sale, the amount of the total bid, as well as the expenses that the county has associated with the tax sale, the recording of the deeds and all that. So that makes her entitled to that overage.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it, yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I move that it's 2662.41.
Yes.
I move that we refund the $2,662.41 to
Second.
Sonia Garrison.
All in favor? Okay. We're going to move right along.
I thought you
Okay.
were done with the price.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Hey, what one is it on here? Get the internet.
Bids and contracts. Bid award 2017-34 unarmed security guard service.
Can we actually hold this till last to
Okay.
enable Donnie to participate?
Okay. Okay, we will do that. We will go to 2016-33 R1 natural gas renewal discussion.
Thank you.
Contract signing.
This is the renewal with Pro-E. Their pricing remained level from last year, which was the NYMEX last day settlement price plus 37 cents plus fuel. And this year we kind of got together beforehand and talked about not hedging this year. So this contract reflects that if it's agreeable to you.
It's the same price as last year, basically. Yep. You guys good with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. I talked to Greg earlier about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Got a contract?
I do.
I move that we sign the contract with Pro Energy Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do you want to hold the 2016, the prisoner transportation too?
So next week, if possible.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we're moving right along. Any unfinished business? Accounts payable review?
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable pending review.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second and final reading of budget adjustment number 6.
This is for $10,000. This is a juvenile grant for tutoring program. And I do need a motion today to approve.
I move that we approve and sign court order number 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, second and final reading of budget adjustment number 7.
This is for $57,000, $57,006. It's the Public Works, it's on their additional surplus property they took in. They want to turn around and spend this on a loader.
Do you want to keep your money?
Yeah.
I move that we approve and sign court order number 7.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We did the refund of overage, approval and signing of annual contract for WIC program from Missouri DHSS.
This is our annual renewal of the WIC contract. I would like to point out that nationwide WIC numbers have been decreasing. There's lots of reasons for that. So we hadn't really saw a decrease in Cole County until earlier this spring. So we've done more outreach. We've gone back to the doctors and educated them about the program that they need to get their pregnant women enrolled, and just more advertising like through the ad sheet, trying to let participants know. And in July we saw a small increase. August we saw another increase. So our numbers are starting to go back up, which is really good because we do get paid per participant. So the more people we get to participate, the better it is for Cole County also. So our staff in the WIC program is wonderful, and they're doing a great job with our participants, and they're doing a great job getting more participants to enroll. So our money will stay the same as long as we can keep our participation up. So I ask for approval of this contract for another year.
Anybody got any questions?
No.
So we're still about 1,200 a month?
No, we're about 1,500 to 1,600 a month.
Whoa.
Yeah. We had fallen a little, yeah, in the 14s, but I think we're right back up around 1,500.
Okay.
I move that we approve and sign the WIC Nutritional Services Program with DHSS.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Signing of LISO program application.
This one. Sam, that's something.
What on this?
CenturyLink.
We're going to table that till next time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, Debbie had said has to be tabled.
Still on our agenda.
Well, we just found out this morning.
Okay.
We
That's
still
what we
remember
got.
from the agenda.
It's a LESO
Y'all don't tell us
program
anything.
that we get
Feel left out sometimes.
surplus from military.
You and Sam are making special.
We have to do
Just
it every
allows
year.
you to
I think Betsy
acquire
feels
stuff.
left out too.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Just allows you to acquire stuff through this program.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Move that we sign the LISO program application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion of judgment of cost payment.
This was actually the court order we received for paying fees, and I know Jill sent you guys an email yesterday, so it looks like maybe that got answered. We will have to pay the bill. If you guys have any question, Mark couldn't be here today.
Jill and I went and talked with Judge Beadham that afternoon, and he modified his decision, and that it's the way that it's written now. Cole County pays it.
So he rewrote it?
Yes.
Yes, we went and
Put in the amount and everything.
yeah.
Okay. All right, is it in accounts payable?
No, it's not in there right now. I'll put it in the next accounts payable. It'll just become out of professional services then. If you want to see the order. Here's the order. I don't really need a motion or anything today. I just wanted to get that on there. I know there was a question of who was to pay, and that's why I put it on there. So since we found out we do, no action.
Okay. We skipped something that we were going back to.
Yeah, we're going back to bid award, the unarmed security guard service.
You guys should have the bid tabs in front of you. We got 5 different companies to bid on the unarmed security guard services. The 3 low bidders were Guardsman, Nighthawk, and Securitas. We currently have Securitas. I'll kind of let Donnie talk on the individual respondents and sort of where his head is with it.
We made some phone calls to Nighthawk. They're the people that they wanted us to call. And the kind of security they did was, I called one place and they did a 4-day deal for a Vietnam Veterans Wall while it was down in Washington, Missouri. They also did a security deal for some kind of a tent during the 4th of July thing. They never did nothing like what we're doing here at the courthouse. So they have no other contracts in mid-Missouri. So if we had fired somebody that morning, we wouldn't get somebody for another day or two. I kind of took them off the list because, like I said, we can't. They have no history of doing this type of business. Securitas and Guardsmen do have, and we've had Securitas was what we've had the last 4 years, and the 4 years before that we had Guardsmen, and Securitas beat them on the last bid. Each one of those 2 contracts I have no problems with. I know I've talked to Jeff and I've talked to some to Chris about both contracts. We have had some complaints through them, and I've talked to guys downstairs, and that's kind of changed things. But we had 2 other bids that were really high. Both of them were local companies from Jeff City. One was 101 and one was 114, and those are the local companies we have here. But to show you this is what they found the last 120 days, and we've had this going now 8 years, and this is stuff. So.
Thanks.
there is several.
Oh, pocket knives. I mean, that's probably pretty common. And
There was one other thing that I spoke to Sheriff Wheeler about once or twice, and we haven't. I'm not in any big hurry right now to award a contract unless you all are. I'd like to talk to him some more. I know the bids were high for the 2 local ones, but I felt if you end up going locally, I would rather try to work some out with the sheriff to hire quality guys that he has to come in to do this downstairs. We had talked about it. Has he talked to you? We've talked about it. We talked to Kristen about it, but it would cost about $130, she said, wouldn't it, to do it that way? But we'd have more, we'd have a better employee, more qualified employee. What you're paying now is going to be $70,000, $71,000, somewhere in there. And what they're paying their people when they hire them here is $7.75 an hour. The supervisor gets $8 in a nickel. So I just want to leave it at that. I would like to talk to Wheeler some more and kind of see what we have, any other ideas, and then get back with you if that's okay. But I'm just down to those 2 right now, unless you all want to do locally.
Well, I've had complaints too, but it's kind of like TSA. It's they're doing their job, and,
I have one, that I have an employee that, I've had some complaints, but the problem is, the one I get the complaints on is the best one at finding things.
yeah,
And so my thing is that I have to weigh security out of what I'm gonna take for a complaint. But what people don't realize is I'm not the Supreme Court, and I'm not the federal courthouse. We only have less than 10,000 people come through a year. Your all's building average between 90 and 100,000 people a year in there. So we're gonna field some complaints. And I've taken some, and I know I've been emailed by Jeff 2 or 3 times on complaints, had to call people back. So if we can get back together in about 2 weeks or so, where I have time to talk to Wheeler and I guess to Aaron and see what they think, and to give you all another idea if you just want to go with this or try to work some out with the sheriff.
I mean, I'm fine with going with Securitas. I mean, I'm amazed at how reasonable it is. I mean, all that stuff that you have there, I mean, I'd say 90% of it's probably people that don't even realize they have it.
Yeah, some of them.
I mean, do they get an opportunity to pick it back up when they leave?
No, but they can go out to their truck and put it back in their truck.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
that we anticipated this problem when we first got into it. For instance, this knife here, well, not this knife, you take this one here, I only probably bought it for $1 or $2 at some local grocery store or a Quick Mart. Now, if somebody went to Bass Pro and paid $125 or $130 for that knife, if we take that knife and give them a ticket to return to come back and pick it up, when they pick their knife up, they get outside the door and they say, well, the blade's broken. And they'll say, we broke the blade. So I didn't want to be responsible for somebody else's stuff without being secured. I've looked in buying lockers, putting small lockers down, you put a quarter in it, and you take the key out. My only problem is that at some point, some of these people will just put a quarter in, leave $1 with a knife in there, and just take the key back, and then we'll have to get them all rekeyed or buy new keys for them. That bothers me. So like I said, the only way to do is have them take them back to their cars. And if they don't, they just throw them in this box downstairs.
I've had some of our bail bondsmen want to be able to go through and carry their gun with them. I don't think so.
Well, if you want to wait, I'm fine with waiting to award it. I'm fine with Securitas as well. I know I've had complaints, but each time you've addressed them. So, I mean, I can't believe they can do it for the prices that they give it to us at. So it's hard to beat that, and it's hard to want to move it to having the sheriff add some more staffing and doing it. But if there's another benefit to having, more sheriff's deputies as far as that goes, then we could weigh that out, but.
I think it'd be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, I think
so too.
It's about 50,000 more a year, 50 to 60.
Yeah, about twice as much, so.
She said. So like I said.
It's hard to justify that.
No, I
if we
don't.
can.
Those are the only two I'm leaning to. If I can get back together with you guys in 2 weeks, we'll make a decision then if you want to.
It's fine by me.
we can table it for 2 weeks. I don't know if there'd be any change, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. What date you want me to be back then?
I'll get with Melody.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Christmas presents.
Thanks, Donnie.
If I see anything about the county Christmas, Sam.
Okay.
Sam will be selling them in the shop.
Sell them on the way back out.
Ooh. Okay. God, we've gone through this really fast. Do we have any discussion of adjustment cost? We move that to next week, the prison transportation. Do we have
That's it.
anything?
Where are we at? We're done?
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Except
only
for
thing
closed
is I want
session.
you guys to look at the maps before and give Melissa a yay or nay on that.
Sure.
So,
I don't care. Here's the service award thing for Mac. Do you have that already?
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to throw it away?
It's ready to take the show.
Okay, thank you. I think that was about it.
Okay.
So we got closed session today then?
Yep.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, let's keep moving.
Yep, let's keep, this is good.
I move we go into closed session pursuant to section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri for personnel issues sub 3 and security issues sub 18.
Second.
Roll call?
Sam?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to get paper and pencil.
Okay, good. Thank you.